Greetings and welcome. My name's Frank Robinson Jr. And today I'm here with Bess Kiernan. She is the school counselor at the elementary school here in Elliott. So let's, maybe I'll just get right into it, the questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
This might sound like a strange question to start with, because the whole point of this is the health and well-being of the kids. But I'm curious, how are the teachers and dealing with this, not having their children with them? How are they faring during this time?
Well, I think I couldn't have more respect for the teachers in Elliott who I work with, my own kids' teachers. The task that they've been asked to do is just, it's enormous. And much of what drives people to the education profession, right, is the connection with the kids. And it's just totally different now. And so it's really hard for them. They're doing crazy things. I've never seen them work harder. They're writing letters, they're sending videos, they're calling kids all day. But that human face-to-face connection, they miss it too.
Well, just kudos again to the faculty, because I know my daughter, whenever she gets a message, a song, an outreach, or a phone call, she's on cloud nine. So she's definitely missing the connection with the faculty as well. How can we build resiliency in our children and just as families? So
the thing that I think is just great about resiliency is it can be taught and it can be modeled. It's so important to remember that not taking away bad or difficult things from your kids' lives, but teaching them how to problem solve and how to come through on the other side of it is where they gain resilience. So some things that I've been thinking about that we can be doing with kids is helping them maintain a couple of positive connections with people outside their homes. And we can do it, through Zoom calls, but even still, there are old-fashioned letter writing, like in a simpler time, how did we maintain connections? I've taught my own kids the art of a ding-dong ditch. So we think of something kind or someone in our neighborhood that we'd like to do. And so they're maintaining that connection, and to watch it go through the neighborhood is awesome. And they're feeling connected, and who's going to do it next? So keeping those relationships going and reaching out and being kind and realizing that there still is a world out there. I'm finding myself so busy and so bored at the same time. And I'm finding that with my kids too. So thinking about what's something interesting that they would like to take on or learn about or be invested in that we wouldn't do because we would be running to soccer or hockey, or because life takes over. And since all those outsides we're not doing anymore, maybe we are going to plant a garden this year because we have time. And so giving them purposeful things that they're really interested in that might not have happened because of time constraints. I also think teaching them about mindfulness and mindful moments builds resiliency, and how to regulate their bodies and their emotions. And I'm not looking for hours of meditation, but there are simple 5-minute things where go outside and write down 5 beautiful things you see, and helping them just regulate and find that calm.
I love the thought of just, centering and finding time to regulate themselves. That's one thing we're going to work on.
And finding that time and practicing those things when things are calm, and just making it part of your routine, that when there is a disturbance or an upset or big feelings, they've already learned those skills. And when you're asking them to do that, it's not trying to teach new learning in a moment of a really big feeling. It's skills they've already built on.
How should we be speaking in this time to our children?
I am not perfect. So this is not like what you should and shouldn't, it's what you could, right? Like these are some ideas and some suggestions. I think the words and the tone that we use with kids sends a really powerful message. If we try to flip our language so we're telling them what they can do instead of what they can't do, that's a really empowering thing. So instead of saying, I don't want you to run, this is a place we need to walk. It's very clear. We need to walk here. There's not a confusion. It's not a don't. It's not a you shouldn't. It's just this is what we need. And that helps keep things calm. I have a third grader visiting me right now. This is real life.
I saw the door open. I was like, I'm not going to stop it. This is real, you know.
This is real life. So taking that, how can we spin things positively? So much seems different and disappointing and discouraging about what's happening in the world right now. You can change your language into, I know it's disappointing that summer camp is canceled this year. I understand that, but I'm really looking forward to being able to do the mandalas in the yard that we would never do, or whatever that substitute is, that found time. I'm really looking forward to the garden we're going to plant. I'm really looking forward to being able to train for the 5K together, to find that positive and give them something to move out of the disappointment and discouragement. And I mean, families they have a lot on their plates right now. So that I'm not pretending at all that it's all positive, but if we can make a conscious effort to help our kids celebrate that they did finish the school year. It looks different, but they still did a good job. They've done an amazing job. Many of us, right, wake up in the morning and I think to myself, like, all right, I'm going to do this. Like, my kids are I'm going to exercise. I'm going to feel healthy. My kids are going to get up. I'm going to make them some fancy breakfast. They're going to love it. They're going to thank me. We're going to figure out who needs to do what. I'm going to help them be engaged in their learning. While I'm doing all that, I'm also going to be connecting with parents and teachers and students and finding value in that and being helpful to them. And we're going to get this all done. And then in the afternoon, we're going to go outside and do some exploratory interest project. They're going to color mandalas in the yard, or they're going to plant a garden.
I'm coming to your house.
Right? And then we're going to reflect on what a great day it was and make dinner together as a happy family. And then the reality comes and somebody hates the breakfast that they've had 100 times, but it's the worst thing they've ever eaten. And we all need to be doing something at 8:30 and half the computers aren't charged. And I'm talking with you and someone needs a third grade workbook and the dog's barking and there's no food in the refrigerator for lunch. And I feel like I've done half as well at being a mom or a school counselor as I would like to.
And you have another visitor, I think.
Yep, there goes the second grader. So that's real life. And yeah, I'm not always using positive language. I mean, the message I hope that everybody is hearing from school is, we know we're not perfect. We're not asking anybody else to try to be perfect. Everybody's learning and it's hard for everybody, but we are stronger together.
Just personally as a parent, I just really appreciate the tone and the language that is coming from the Elliott school system. When we were talking before, you said something interesting about the memories we are creating with our kids right now, and that they could affect how they look back on this time.
As adults, myself included, we forget how perceptive kids truly are. and what they're taking in and how much of their perspective comes from the cues that you think you are hiding from them. I try to think about not only for my own kids, but the kids of Elliot, how can we make this a time where they remember some pretty cool things? Maybe we're creating big memories about the time mom and dad let us make a tent in the living room and have ice cream for dinner. Like maybe that's what they'll hold on to if we're able to kind of put our game faces on and dig deep and think about how much they're taking from us. And so if we're focused on how scary and how uncertain and how stressed, that's what they're going to remember. I mean, an example from my own house is one day I made my kids go for a walk in the rain. And they were like, we don't want to go. And I finally was like, I don't either. but I will feel better if we do it. But sometimes as the adults, we need to do those things because that's what they'll take away. If we're able to plant that seed in that positive memory or that something special or different or out of routine, that they'll hold on to that versus the scary, overwhelming.
We could come out the other side of this as stronger families, stronger communities, and we'll cherish when we're together.
I mean, it's hard work for all of us. It's hard work for school counselors. So much of what we do is just look how a kid comes in off the bus. Is their head hanging low? Do they not have a backpack? Maybe I need to check in with them. They're talking way more than they usually talk. They're not talking at all. All those subtle signs are lost in this form.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for 5 questions. And we look forward to next time. And thank you again, Bess, for joining us. It was a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.